think of that intro? I had a couple different intro ideas, and that's kind of the one I landed on. So you guys let me know what y'all think of that. Well, let's get into it. It's Friday, so that means it's time for Tactical Talks. So this week, I picked up a new gun. This is clear and safe. So we're going to be talking about two different guns today. This is the new one. Like I said, it's clear. There's an empty magazine that I'm going to be putting back into it. I got this gun for a steal. I was not looking for this gun. This wasn't something that I sought out by any means. It was kind of like if I come across one of these, then I would get it. And like I said, this one came across, and I just, like I said, I got it for a steal. It might as well have just been given to me. So that's how I ended up with this gun. This is a light that I already had, so I threw the light on there. But I got the gun with 3 magazines and a holster. So this is the M&P 40, the full size. So this thing is going to be pretty comparable or somewhat of competition to this Glock 22, which is chambered in 40. This one is also clear. Nothing in the chamber. Empty magazine. So let's talk about these two guns. Alright, so my first impressions of this gun. I've had this gun only about 4 days now. Have not been able to shoot it. If you guys watch the weather or the news, anything at all, check out what's going on here in Texas. Where I live in West Texas, it's more of like a desert atmosphere. And it has just been raining non-stop for probably over a week now. And I know to some of you guys that's not a big deal, but here everything is flooding. I mean, we just weren't built for that kind of rain. So I have not been able to make it out to the range, unfortunately. So this video is just going to be first impressions of my M&P. So the first thing for me that I like about this gun is the grip. This kind of looks funny to me, and I was like, I'm just so used to Glock. I'm such a big Glock guy. When I held this gun, this little bulge back here in the back, and just the ergonomics of this gun, it feels good. You know, it just awesome feeling gun. So that I do like. Now on a side note, I've been wanting to stipple a gun for a really long time. And for those of you who don't know, these back panels come off. The way Glock has dovetail pieces that attach to the back, M&P, these come off and you can slide on new ones or different ones. So I'm really considering trying to stipple this gun and seeing how it comes out. So let me know what you guys think. Is that a good idea? Should I try to do that? Again, I got this gun for a steal, and no, I don't want to mess it up. But if I do, I probably won't feel as bad as if I were to mess up one of these Glocks that I paid full price for. So, the grip, number one, is awesome. Going into something that I'm not a huge fan of, again, this gun is clear, is this trigger. Now, I want to see if you guys can hear this. So, there was a trigger. Now, try to listen for that reset. You might have heard something in there. It's a lot harder to hear. Listen to this Glock. There's my trigger. Oh. Listen for that reset. A lot louder, a lot crisper. Couldn't tell you exactly what the difference is. Again, I just got this gun, so I'm still doing research on it. But I like the definitive click on the Glock. I like that reset. It feels good in the hand. Now, am I saying that the Glock trigger is better than the M&P trigger? Not necessarily. I'm just saying I do like that. Now, the other thing, you do have a little bit of play here in the Glock trigger. I feel like this M&P trigger is just bouncy and it feels really spongy to me. And I've never used the word spongy to describe a trigger in a gun, but really that's the first thing that came to mind. This one does have a little bit of play once you get past the little safety feature there, but you hit the wall and you're ready to shoot. This one, I mean, I'm applying pressure. Obviously it just went off, but it's a lot bouncier, it's a lot spongier. So not a huge fan of that. I know I can buy a trigger and upgrade that, but as far as initial impressions, not a huge fan of that. Another thing that I do like is the serrations on the back of the M&P. So these, they're like little teeth in there. They're a lot easier to get a hold of. I feel like these things bite into your hand. Not so much that it bothers you or hurts you, but I feel like that's easier to grab and to pull back on. So that's another positive. The other thing that I do like is this slide catch that's right here on the M&P. It's on this side and it's on this side. So you have an ambidextrous slide catch. Now Glock didn't start doing that till the Gen 5s. This is a Gen 4. So I only have the slide catch on this side. And now for me personally, it's not a big deal because I only use it on that side. I am a right-handed shooter. But as far as from the factory, the gun being set up, you know, for any and every shooter, I thought that was a nice little touch. Now the mag release is just like Glock. You can switch it over to either side. So I just feel like the M&P is set up to be a little more ambidextrous than the Glock is. Now speaking of that mag release, I want to show you guys, I'm going to push the mag release button and watch this magazine. It slid out, my hand was this way, and it didn't make it to my hand even though it's at an angle here. It fell down to the ground. Here's what I want y'all to look at. Look at that. Now I did move my hand a little bit to catch it, but this magazine, I just can't catch that time. This magazine bounces out, shoots out a lot better than the Glock magazine does. Now, I know some of you guys are saying that's not that big a difference. Doesn't matter. Glock magazines are reliable, Glocks are reliable, and I agree with you 100%. Like I said, I am a Glock guy, but I do got to give credit where credit's due. And I love, I mean, you saw that I hit them at the same time. That M&P magazine shot out faster than that Glock magazine did. What does that mean? That means that when I need this gun, when and if I need this gun, and I've gone through a magazine full of rounds and I need to reload, that other magazine is going to get out of my way that much quicker so that I can put in the new magazine and get back into the fight. Like I've said before, guys, any and every millisecond counts. So that kind of stood out to me. I thought that was a really cool feature. The other thing with this gun that I didn't mention, these, like I said, these are both chambered in 40. They both come with 15 round magazines. When I got both of these, they both came with 3 magazines. So they're very similar in that sense. The M&P sights, the back sight here, if you can see that, is adjustable. I can move it around back and forth. To my understanding, it's easier to change out. I don't ever change out my own sights. It's something I go and get done. The other thing that I thought was kind of cool is M&P has this little window. That little hole right here is so that you can check your chamber before you start firing, whether that's in a critical situation or just out at the range. I can load my gun, holster it, have it put up, whatever. When it comes time to pull this gun out, for whatever reason, and I shouldn't be, but for whatever reason, if I'm unsure, I can look down at the top of the gun and see, okay, I have a round in there. Let's engage. I don't have to sit there. I don't have to check it. I don't have to do all these other things that I may have to do with the Glock. Now, for me personally, I always have a round in the chamber, with the exception of making these videos for you guys. But when I'm out shooting, when I'm carrying, I always have a round in the chamber, so that's not necessarily something that I'm too worried about. It is just a nice, cool feature to have on there. As far as that goes, I mean, I'm very happy with this gun. I know a lot of you guys aren't a fan of, you know, the 40 caliber. A lot of you guys like 9mm better, or you like 45 better. I'm just a 40 guy. My first gun that I ever bought was the Ruger SR40. I loved it. Ended up selling it just because I wanted to upgrade to something a little bit different, something a little bit better. Didn't have a lot of money at the time. Not that I do now, but didn't have a lot of money at the time, so I got rid of that gun to upgrade to something else. But I definitely love 40. Everything that I've been looking at and reading has told me that the M&P is supposed to be a little bit more comfortable as far as, you know, while you're firing rounds. It's not as boxy as the Glock. This thing is supposed to be a lot more ergonomic friendly, but I can't necessarily say that because, again, I have not shot this gun yet. I've only had this gun for maybe 3 or 4 days, and it's raining. I can't go out to the range. If I was trying to go out to the range, I would get my truck stuck and whole ordeal that I don't feel like messing with right now. But let me know what you guys think. What do you like better? Do you like Glock better? Do you like Smith and Wesson better? I know a lot of the arguments that I looked at online was people were like, well, this is made in Austria. This is made here in America. I only buy American made and this and that. I got a Glock 17 in my safe right now that was made here in America. So Glocks have been and are made in America as well. Maybe not all of them. And I know a majority of them were made in Austria. But, I mean, if that's the only reason why you're buying a gun is to say, well, it's made here in America. Look, I got my Marine Corps sweater on. I'm a veteran. I support any and everything America, but I'm not going to let it hold me back from buying a good, reliable gun to say, well, this one was made in America and this one wasn't. So that's just me personally. Let me know what you guys think. What do you like better? Do you like Smith and Wesson? Do you like the Glock? They're both 40s. They have the same capacity, about the same size gun. The Smith and Wesson is just a little bit wider, but nothing so noticeable that you're not going to want to carry this one over this one. The Smith and Wesson is a little bit heavier, and I don't know the exact specs. This is just a feel in my hand. But again, not so much to say this gun is too heavy, I'm only going to carry this gun. So it is what it is. They're both two beautiful guns. I just got lucky. Like I said, this one kind of just fell into my lap. So those are my first impressions of the Glock. Well, I'm sorry, not the Glock. I've had this one, but my first impressions of the Smith and Wesson compared to my Glock. Same size, same caliber, same capacity. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys next Friday. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, like, share this video, and I'll see you on the next one.